If you only use your muffin pan for baking, you're missing at least 6 clever ways it can make your kitchen easier. This simple tray can help you shape food-serve snacks, make desserts, and even save you cleanup later. But the trick that surprised me most starts when you flip the pan upside down. We've been using the muffin pan right side up this entire time, but have you ever wondered what would happen if you turned it upside down? The answer is surprisingly useful. Flip your muffin pan over so the bottoms of the cups are facing upward. Now, take a slice of sandwich bread and gently press it down over one of the raised cups. Repeat the same thing with another slice. Now place the upside-down muffin pan into the oven and bake until the bread becomes golden and crisp enough to hold its shape. While that's baking, let's make a quick filling. I have some cooked bacon corn and finely chopped radish. Put everything into a bowl. Add a little mayonnaise and mix until all the ingredients are evenly coated. The bread should be ready by now. Open the oven and take a look. What started as an ordinary flat slice of sandwich bread has become crisp and golden, but more importantly, it has kept that unusual curved shape from the muffin pan. Carefully lift it off. Look at that, it has turned into a tiny edible bread bowl. Now simply spoon our bacon, corn, and radish mixture into the center. Suddenly, a few everyday ingredients look like a completely different appetizer. You get a crispy bread bowl on the outside with a creamy, savory filling inside. Now we come to the most obvious advantage of these small cups. Their unique shape allows them to serve as a mold themselves. All you need is a bowl of seasoned rice and your muffin pan. I've already mixed the rice with all the seasonings I like. Next, prepare 2 thin strips of seaweed for each cup. Lay the first strip across the muffin cup, then place the second strip over it in the opposite direction, forming a cross. Gently press the seaweed down into the cup with your fingers to create a small pocket. Now spoon the seasoned rice into the center. Press it down gently so the rice takes on the round shape of the muffin cup. Repeat the same process with the remaining cups. Once they're filled, fold the 4 ends of the seaweed inward over the rice. Press them down gently, and just like that, you've created a neat little seaweed rice ball. Now lift one out. Look how easily it releases from the pan. The seaweed creates a barrier between the rice and the metal, so there's hardly any sticking, and every portion comes out almost exactly the same size. Arrange them all on a plate, and suddenly, an ordinary bowl of seasoned rice looks much more interesting. Each one is a perfect individual portion, easy to pick up, easy to serve, and much more fun to eat. In about 3 minutes, that simple bowl of rice has turned into a neat plate of bite-sized snacks without shaping every single piece by hand. Now let's use those muffin cups for something a little sweeter. Start by placing the cookies in a bowl and crushing them into small crumbs. You don't need to make them completely powdery. Now pour the whipping cream and whip it until it becomes light, thick, and fluffy. If you like your ice cream sweeter, you can add a little sugar or sweetened condensed milk at this stage. And now our muffin pan comes back into the picture. Spoon the cookies and cream mixture into each muffin cup, dividing it as evenly as possible. Then take a popsicle stick and push one into the center of each portion. Now place the entire muffin pan in the freezer and leave it there until the ice cream is completely frozen and firm. Once they're ready, take the pan out. Instead of scooping ice cream into bowls, gently loosen one portion around the edges and lift it out by the stick. Look at that! You've made a perfectly portioned cookies and cream pop right inside a muffin pan. It's creamy cold, filled with crunchy little cookie pieces, and already comes with its own handle. And because every muffin cup is the same size, you get neat individual servings without needing any special ice cream molds. And for this idea, let's go back to the most traditional way of using a muffin pan, but with one small change that can save you a lot of cleanup afterward. This time, you'll need a few silicone muffin cups. Place one silicone cup inside each compartment of the muffin pan. They fit neatly into the individual spaces, but instead of food baking directly against the metal, everything stays inside the removable silicone liners. Now, let's make a quick breakfast. Crack one egg into each silicone cup. Then add whatever toppings you have in the refrigerator. I'm using a few chopped vegetables and some cheese, but you could also add cooked bacon, ham, green onions, mushrooms, or anything else you enjoy. Once they're filled, place the entire muffin pan into the oven. Bake for about 15 minutes or until the eggs are completely set to your liking. Now, let's take them out. Carefully lift each silicone cup from the muffin pan and place it onto a serving plate. Now let's try one of our little egg bites. Gently pull the silicone away from the sides. Look how easily it releases. The egg holds its perfect little shape. The cheese has melted through the vegetables, and you have an individual breakfast portion that's warm, colorful, and ready to eat. Sometimes their simplest use is the one that makes the most sense. Whenever I put several different kinds of candy together in one big bowl, the same thing happens. Everything gets mixed together, and when I want one particular flavor, I end up digging through the whole pile trying to find it. So instead of using another bowl, bring out the muffin pan. Each little cup is already a separate compartment, which makes it perfect for sorting different candies. Put the chocolates in one cup, fruit candies in another, gummies in the next, and continue until every variety has its own place. Look at the difference. Instead of one messy pile, everything is organized and easy to see at a glance. Just reach into the compartment with the candy you want and take one. Put the muffin pan in the middle of the table, and suddenly, everyone has several choices without needing 5 or 6 separate bowls. Now, I'm curious, if this muffin pan were sitting in front of you right now, which compartment would you reach for? First, chocolate gummies or fruit candy? Here's another use for those little muffin cups, and this one is especially handy when you have guests over. Imagine you've just made a delicious homemade drink and want to bring everyone a glass. You pour each serving line up the cups on the counter and then realize something obvious: you only have 2 hands. Carry 2 glasses at a time and you'll have to make several trips. Try carrying more and suddenly you're balancing cups between your fingers, walking slowly and hoping nothing spills before you reach the table. This is where the muffin pan comes in. If yours has 6 cups like mine, simply place one appropriately sized drink cup into each compartment. Make sure each cup sits securely and doesn't tip or wobble. Now, instead of carrying 6 individual cups, you only have one thing to hold. Much easier. The individual compartments help keep the cups separated so they aren't knocking into one another as you walk. You don't have to make trip after trip, and there's much less awkward juggling along the way. Set the pan down and everyone can simply take a drink from their own compartment. 6 drinks, 1 trip, and 2 hands, that's all it takes. They're simply about noticing that something you already own has exactly the shape you need. And that's all 6 ideas. Which of these 6 ideas surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's tricks, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with someone who has a muffin pan hiding in their cabinet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.